Hello. So today we're going to be doing an inversion building class, and inversion means just going upside down, the act of inverting anything really, but we're going to be inverting ourselves today, or working up to that point at least. So we're going to be building up our core strength and our shoulder stability and shoulder strength as well. I know for myself and for some of you, you might be weak in that area like myself. I sometimes struggle with my shoulders and my wrists especially. So we're going to just go through a couple of exercises to strengthen the core, strengthen the shoulders and the wrists, and make sure everything is up and working before we try and go upside down. So to start warming up, what we will need is just a mat or a rug or a carpet, whatever you have. If you have a nice open wall, try to find one of those as well, something that doesn't have any pictures on it so you don't knock any picture frames down. And then I have a TheraBand that I'll be using today. If you don't have one, you can still do these exercises without it. We just need it for one exercise. So we'll start with our warm-up. We're going to start in a little tabletop position, so with our knees directly underneath our hip bones and with our wrists directly under our shoulders. We're in this nice position. Our spine is in a neutral position, so we're not arching or curving. We're keeping it nice and neutral like we're a table. From here, we're just going to start by inhaling. We're going to pull our bellies into our spine. And exhale, drop your pelvis, lift your head towards the ceiling. And inhale, arch. And exhale, drop. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, arch. And exhale, drop. Last time, inhale, arch. And exhale, looking up to the ceiling. Go ahead and find a neutral pelvis here. From here, we're going to start taking a little rock side to side with our head and our tailbones. We're going to rock side to side, going laterally, keeping our back still in a neutral position. And let's inhale as we curve over to the right. And exhale as we curve over to the left. Inhale to the right, and exhale to the left. 2 more times. Inhale to the right, and exhale to the left. Once more. Inhale to the right, and exhale to the left. And we're going to find our neutral spine here. From here, we're just going to take a rock forwards and backwards, starting to warm up the wrist a little bit. My palms are flat on the mat. My fingers are facing forward this direction. And now I'm going to turn my palms out to the side. If this is uncomfortable, you don't have to go as extreme. You can take a smaller angle. But my palms are directly facing side now, and I'm going to take a little rock side to side, just changing the movement up a little bit. And lastly, we're going to take those palms and rotate them all the way back, facing your knees, and take a gentle rock forwards and backwards. Again, if this is too extreme, you can take the angle slightly less so it's not as much pressure. We're just trying to warm up the wrists. We don't want to injure yourself. We want to prevent that from happening. And go ahead and replace those palms in your mat, rotate them back around. I'm going to take one arm up towards the ceiling. Just taking a nice twist in my spine. And back down. Opposite arm reaches up. And back down. Now I'm going to tuck my toes, and I'm going to slightly hover my knees off the ground. So we're going to engage the core and hold that position for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Replace those knees back in the mat. We'll do this once more. So we're going to take those arms back up in a twist. And replace that hand. Opposite arm lifts up, twist. And back down. Again, we tuck those toes and lift those knees up and hover for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those knees back down. We're going to untuck our toes and press ourselves back into a child's pose. Go ahead and turn your knees out wider than your mat and slowly lower yourself down all the way with those arms forward. Don't forget to breathe into your belly while we're here. We're trying to allow that spine to decompress a little bit, trying to release any tension that we have. And let's take one of our arms and thread it underneath that opposite arm, dropping your chin and your chest towards the mat. And bring that arm back through center, opposite side, thread it underneath your shoulder, drop your head into your mat. And bring the arm back through center. Go ahead and bring yourself back up to that 4 tabletop pose. We're going to hold here, and we're going to work on our vacuum abs. So we're just going to let our belly hang towards the mat real fast. And then we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to engage our core and suck your belly into your spine. Hold this position. You can still breathe here. It's going to be a little more difficult, but you're trying to squeeze your belly back into your spine. We're not letting it hang down towards the mat. Keep holding for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, suck your belly into your spine and hold. We're squeezing our bellies in. Everything's engaged in your core. And hold here for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your belly. And go ahead and walk yourself back. So we are going to now lay ourselves all the way down on our mat. This is where I'm going to grab my resistance band. Like I said, if you don't have one, you can do this exercise without it. But we're just going to work a little bit on our back muscles here. We're going to show them some love. So lower yourselves all the way down into your bellies for me. I'm going to grab my band from here, and what we're trying to do is keep our legs planted in the ground, and we're trying to lift our torso up. So the arms are going to extend up overhead, and we're going to lift ourselves up. We're going to squeeze the band out and in, out and in. Like I said, if you don't have a band, you can still do that same range of motion with your arms without the band. That's still a lot of weight up here that's moving around, so it's still difficult, just a different level of difficulty. We're going to do 1 set of 8, and we'll do that 3 times. We're going to do 3 sets, of 8 repetitions. So we're going to lift our upper bodies up, and we squeeze out for 8, and 7, here's 6, and 5, here's 4, and 3, last 2, last 1. Go ahead and lower yourself down. So the goal of this exercise is to keep that upper body lifted and to keep your belly pulling away from the mat. So you don't want to push your belly down like that. You want to keep your belly engaged and also keep your lower back safe by keeping that core engaged, because we're not trying to target our lower back with this exercise. We're trying to keep it safe. So let's do 2 more reps. I'm going to grab my band again, and I'm going to lift myself up, and we squeeze for 8. And 7, here's 6, and 5, here's 4, and 3, last 2, last 1, lower down, take a little break. We have 1 more set of 8 that we're going to do here. Again, really focusing on not pinching your lower back. Try to keep that core engaged so we don't injure ourselves doing a workout here. Let's get her done. Last set. Here we go. Lift up and out for 8 and 7. Here's 6 and 5. Here's 4 and 3. Last 2 and last 1. Lower down. Go ahead and press yourself all the way back into a child's pose once more. And bring it back forward. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to go out to a full plank position. You can also do this on your knees if you need to go down to a half plank. But we're going to be rotating from a plank to a side plank, back through a plank to your other side. So it's simultaneous. We're doing that movement consecutively, going from one side to the next, trying to keep the control in the core and also to find balance and stability in the shoulders. So I'll demonstrate once. I find my plank position. I'm pushing up through my shoulders. I'm not dropping. I hold here, and we're going to rotate ourselves up, side plank one side, back down to your plank, and up, side plank the other side, and back down. Like I said, you can do this on your knees. Keep those feet up in the air. You can do the same thing here, and plank, and side, and plank. We're going to do 8 full ones, which means we're going to end up doing 16 in total, going from side to side. We want to get each side at least 8 times. So find your plank, and we're going to open up 4, 1, and down. Here's 2, and down. Here's 3, and down. Here's 4, and down. 5, and down. Here's 6, and down. Here's 7, and down. And 8, and down. We have 8 more to make it 16 total, and down. Here's 7, down. Here's 6, and down. Here's 5, and down. Here's 4, and down. Here's 3, almost there. Here's 2, and here's 1, and down. Go ahead and drop back down. Let's take a little circle through the shoulders, forwards and backwards, maybe circle through the wrist. So the reason I like that exercise is because you are doing movement and you're trying to find stability while you're doing it. So it's really good for strengthening the shoulders and also working on the core and finding your center of balance, where your center of balance should be anyways as you're rotating from side to side. So let's go back to that tabletop position one more time. We're just going to take a little moment to rest here while we're showing our shoulders some love. So take a few circles in each direction here. When you're ready, you can reverse. And then once you are ready, you're going to tuck your toes and lift yourself back into a downward facing dog. If you would like, you can tread through those feet, or you can drive those heels down into your mat, whatever feels good here. And while we're here, we're going to do a few what I call dolphin push-ups. So we're in this downward dog position, and what we're doing is we're lowering our head towards the ground and pushing back up. So that pelvis is literally just going straight down, straight up. And if you'd like an added challenge, you can lift up those heels onto the balls of the feet and go down and up here. We'll do 2 sets of 8 here, wherever you need to go. Either those heels are down or they're up. Here we go, and we lower down 4, 1. Here's 2, and 3. Here's 4, elbows out wide. Here's 5, and 6. Here's 7, and 8. Take a little break, maybe tread through those feet one more time. If you need to drop to a child's pose real fast, you can pause this video and do so. And we're going to go back into our second set of 8. Here we go. We go down for 8. Here's 7, and 6. Here's 5, and 4. Here's 3, and 2. Last one. Go ahead and lower down. Let's sink your pelvis back. And one more time, circle out those wrists. Maybe show them some love by taking your wrist down and then up, stretching it both ways. Make sure you do it on both sides. one slow circle out. Alright, so the next exercise we are going to do are inchworms. Since I have very limited space, I'm just going to use the length of my mat. So I'll go forwards and then I'll go backwards. Usually you just walk around, but we'll take that out today. So I'm going to start at the end of my mat, and I'm going to start in a forward fold position. This is a nice stretch for your hamstrings. If it feels good, you can stay here for longer. What I'm going to do is walk myself all the way out to this inchworm position. My plank ends up here in the middle. I'm still finding that proper plank position. My hips are not dropping or lifting. And then I walk my feet into my hands. We'll do this back and forth, and then I go back and walk my hands back. So we're going to do 8 in total. What that means is we go forwards and backwards. That's 1. So it might be 16 if you count it that way. All right, so we start in our forward fold, and we're walking ourselves out to our plank for 1, and in, and out, and in. This is 2, and in, and back, and in. This is 3, in, back, in. Almost there, 4. Keep going. In, back, in. This is 5. In, and back, in. This is 6, and in, and back, and in. This is 7, in, back, in. Last one, here's 8. In, and back, and in. Then go ahead and take the little sink down to your mat. Maybe if you have to, take those fingers underneath your knees and just take a little bounce. And I'm just going to stretch out my legs a little bit more. Nice work. All right, so we just have a couple more exercises that we're going to do with this video today. You can do as many reps as you would like, as many sets as you would like. It's up to you. This is your workout. One of the exercises that we're going to do before we complete today, we're going to go back to that forward fold position. Try to get your hands as close to your feet as you can here. We're going to try to keep our legs nice and straight. If you don't have this flexibility, that's okay. You can start with bent knees too. We don't want to injure ourselves by tearing any muscles. So we'll start wherever you're comfortable with those knees. I'm going to go all the way straight. I'm going to push down with my hands. As I push down, I'm trying to lift my heels up and lift my pelvis towards the ceiling. So the goal is not to go tumbling forwards, but that's kind of the sensation that you're going to get, because that's what we need to do to activate our lower abdominals in order to get ourselves all the way up. So we're working on a press, trying to go into a handstand. We're not going to do a handstand today, do not worry, but the goal is to build up the strength to be able to at some point. So we're going to try 8 of these. We push down into our hands and we lift our hips up for 1 and lower. Here's 2, push down, lift, and lower. Here's 3, push down, lift, and lower. Here's 4, and lower. This is 5, and lower. This is 6, and lower, and 7, and lower. Last one here is 8, and lower. And go ahead and untuck your hands, give those wrists another shake. So I know that exercise doesn't look like much, but if you just did it, you know it's a lot of work. So give yourself a break real fast. Maybe fan yourself because it's getting warm. All right, one of the next things that we're going to do is we're going to work on our tripod, and I'm going to fold my mat back so I just have an extra layer of padding because I have wood underneath this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my head on my mat. My palms are going to end up next to each other and my head is on the floor. So essentially we're making a triangle pose with our head and our hands making that shape on the floor. So I'm going to go down to this triangle pose. From here, you can just try and lift your hips up and just find this position. This is going to be our pike position. You can hold here if this is as much as you can do today. That's totally fine. If you think you can take it up a notch, then we're going to try and bring our knees to the forearms on either side. Maybe you just get one today, maybe you get both. If you can, we're going to try and work on balance. So we place our head down, our hands are equal to each other on either side. I'm going to lift my hips up into my pike position, and I'm going to try and bring one knee up. Maybe I try and bring both knees up. Try to find a balance here. And if you're happy, try and hold. Maybe one knee's up, maybe both are up. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower back down. Give your head a break. Maybe give your wrists a little shake out again. I know it's a lot of work in the wrists, and if we have weak wrists, then it might be a little painful. Just try and show your wrists some love after this. Maybe give them a gentle massage. Maybe soak them in some warm water. That will help them. All right, we're going to do that one more time. Again, if you can bring both knees up, please try and do so. Maybe you just have one knee up. We're just working on balance. Even if you're in your pike position, we're still getting the same amount of work. So we place our head down. We make our triangle pose, and we lift those hips up. Maybe one knee, maybe both. Wherever you're at, we're going to hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower yourself back down and give yourself another break. So the goal is to eventually be able to take those legs straight up. So we want to eventually find the strength to be able to take those legs straight up towards the ceiling with control. From there you can move those legs around however you like and carefully come down without any injury. That's the goal. That's why we're working on this today. All right. The last exercise we're going to do, if you have a bare open wall, then you may do it. If you do not, then you can just go back and work on that triangle pose again. Still work on inverting yourself, still working on finding that balance, center of gravity, all those good things. If you have a bare wall, what we're going to do is we're going to try and hold a handstand for 30 seconds. If you can't hold it for that long, hold it for as long as you can. Essentially, it's a burnout. And we're just going to find our balance up at the top. So I will show you how to get up and how to safely come back down. I'm going to carefully kick my feet up to my wall, and I'm not going to put a hole in the wall, so you have to use your core to control those legs all the way up. So I carefully kick myself all the way up, and I find my handstand position. You can use the wall as much or as little as needed. That's why it's there. You're going to hold here for as long as you can, and when you can no longer hold yourself up there, you carefully lower yourself back down to the ground. So you're going to hold there, that position, as long as you can. I'm not going to do that exercise with you. I'm going to let you find it on your own. But what I want you to worry about or think about while you're up there is making sure that everything is stacked. So you want your hips to be under your shoulders. You want your shoulders to be on top of your hands. So you don't want everything to be arched. You want it to be controlled and everything engaged. Almost like we're flying out of the roof, straight out of the roof, everything is in line. So again, I'll show you the position one more time. We carefully kick ourselves all the way up, all the way up to your wall. And we're going to find everything stacked. So my hips over my shoulders, over my wrists. In this nice position, use the wall as much or as little as you need. Come down when you're ready. And after you have completed that, then we'll do a quick cool down together. Okay, so if you did your handstand, then nice work. Hopefully you didn't end up with a hole in your wall. If you're doing your tripod stand, then nice work there as well. Hopefully we're working up to building a little bit of confidence, going upside down, being in an inverted position. I know it's kind of scary sometimes, but we'll get to that point. We'll build up the strength to hopefully better our posture and better our time up there and upside down. That's all with progress. So we're just going to do a quick cool down. Let's take our wrists and do a slight circle in one direction, nice and gentle. We did a lot of work with our wrists today. Even though it didn't feel like it, we did put a lot of pressure on them. Reverse your circle. We just want to show them some love. If you need to give them, like I said, a little massage after this, feel free to. And now we're going to take our head, we're going to drop our chin to our chest, and slow circle towards that right shoulder. We'll do this 4 times, releasing any tension that may be housed in the neck and the shoulders. Make sure you're timing your breath with these circles, whatever feels natural. And after that 4th circle, slow down in the center and reverse the other direction. Again, 4 circles in this direction. And after that 4th circle, we'll slow down and bring our head back up to a neutral position. We're going to take our right elbow, drop it into your mat, make sure that other hip bone stays grounded. They should both be grounded, and stretch that left arm up and over. It should be a nice side stretch. Try and actively press away from the mat with your shoulders so you're not sinking down into your shoulder. Press away, and let's take that left arm and trace the side of our body all the way up through our fingertips. Do this 4 times. Try to deepen that stretch each time you trace your side body. This is 3, and this is 4. And drop your nose towards your knee. Let's bring it through center and slowly roll it back up. Other direction, we drop that left shoulder into your mat now. Right arm goes up and over for a side stretch. Both hips are in the ground, and trace that side of your body from your hip all the way to your fingertips. We'll do this 4 times. And this is 3. And this is 4. And drop your nose to your knee. And bring it back up. And now we're just going to flip ourselves so that we are on our mat and we can lay down with enough space. I'm going to let my knees drop in towards one another and take my feet out a little bit wider than my hips. My arms are going to reach up and I cross them around one another. Those elbows are pointing straight up towards the ceiling, and you just relax yourself into this constructive rest position. We're just trying to allow our body to return to its normal state. Find a natural rhythm of breath here, natural inhalation and exhalation pace that works for your body. With each exhale, try to relax each muscle fiber as much as you can. And feel free to stay in this constructive rest position for as long as you need to. I know it feels super good. Sometimes you can get stuck here. I'm going to sign off now, but I hope to see you again soon for the next class. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure to show your wrists some love when you're done, and let me know what you thought about this inversion class. You can keep working on it if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.